I'm back today with a homeschool curriculum unboxing, and I'm so excited about this one. I've been scouring online to find content on this curriculum to see if it would be a good fit for my kids. I think it's going to be great. The timing works out perfectly, and I've been looking forward to sharing it with you. Let's unbox this together. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'm Trisha. I'm at Juicebox Homeschool. I share our homeschool journey with an elementary, a middle, and a high schooler. The next school year, I will have a 4th grader, 7th grader, and a 10th grader. And I just received a box of curriculum that we are planning to use in the next year. And I will be sharing the curriculum load for each grade that we plan on using. But today I just wanted to unbox this with you, and you can share in the excitement that I have over this. So the company I ordered from is not new to me, but it is new to me in these lower grade levels, and that is Notgrass. Here we go. Ta-da! Let me take off this shrink wrap. Okay, so here's the first part of it. We are planning to use Notgrass, Uncle Sam, and You for our history this next coming school year. And I'm going to be using this with my 4th and 7th grader combined. And I actually reached out to Notgrass to ask what they suggest for the next school year because I would have a 4th and 7th grader. And I knew I wanted to stay with America. We have been studying early American history this past year with Beautiful Feet books. And that has been going really well. So I wanted to stick with America, kind of moving into more of a modern era. And so I was debating between Uncle Sam and You and America the Beautiful. Both of them look beautiful. Both of them look really well done and have a lot of similar qualities, and so I really couldn't decide. So I asked Notgrass what they would recommend for the grade levels I have, and they said because it's an election year that this would be really great and relevant to study, and that gave me my answer. So I'm very happy with what we chose, Uncle Sam and You, and we're familiar with the format of Notgrass because we have been using Exploring World History for my 9th grader this current year. So very similar. It comes with 2 gigantic, heavy textbooks. I wish you could feel it, but when I set it down, it shakes this table. It's pretty thick. Uncle Sam and You. Here's part 1, and there's an entire second book, same thickness and heaviness. What I love about Notgrass is they have beautiful color photos in their books. They write from a biblical worldview. My daughter thinks Exploring World History, even though it is a high school level course, she feels it's very easy because the reading is so engaging. And they gave me a little tip that the first few lessons, I forget the number, I have to check my email, it might be like 9 lessons or something like that, are covering government and elections, and that would be enough time to get to that point before the election, all the election activity happens in the US. Let me show you the table of contents. We the People, America's Founding Documents, How America Works, Patriotic Symbols and American Ideals, America's Leaders, Voting in America, Political Parties and Their Candidates, From the Convention to Election Day, The Voters Speak, Washington, D.C., Our Nation's Capital, The Presidency, Part 1 and 2, The U.S. Congress, Part 1 and 2, America Relates to the World. And I really liked the part I read about the choosing an American holiday, and so I think it's at the end of every lesson that we get to choose an American holiday. And in the back, there is supposed to be, here we go, little summaries and activities for different American holidays. Leif Erikson Day, see, never knew. We've spent time definitely on the major holidays, but not acknowledging every holiday that's listed on the calendar. And sometimes my kids will ask, what is this day? Because it's listed in their planner. So it will be great to go through the different American holidays. Even if we don't celebrate all of them, at least they'll have an idea of why it's in the calendar and what it's about. So here is an example of one lesson. As you can tell, there's a lot of photos, and that is something my kids really appreciate. I think reading about history, it always helps so much to see accompanying photos with it. So this is one lesson, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. And then at the end of the lesson, there are some activities you can do. These are optional. With my high schooler, we mainly did the review questions. We're doing the recommended literature, and we'll do the tests for review. So here's a sample of one of the lesson activities at the end of this lesson. section. There's a vocabulary section where you copy these into your notebook. There's a literature reading. Read the newspaper timeline of the Statue of Liberty and the proclamation number 5574 in the Citizen's Handbook, pages 14 to 17, and that is this book right here. Find and read the complete lyrics of one of the patriotic songs included in this lesson. Picture this, draw a picture of one of the treasured symbols of America mentioned in this lesson. And there's also a student workbook or a lesson review. If you're using one of these optional books, complete the assignment for lesson 18. So let me show you the other books since we just talked about it. This is the Citizen's Handbook. Let me move this aside. This is the Citizen's Handbook, Civics in Action. These are usually original sources of significant documents. So here's Lincoln's farewell to the citizens of Springfield. It gives a little context information here about what this is, and then it gives Abraham Lincoln's farewell speech, along with photos, a portrait of Abraham, and also the Lincoln home in Springfield. We've really enjoyed the supplemental book in exploring world history, so I highly recommend getting this book with your pack. So this book referenced the student workbook or the lesson review book, so let me show you that now. Here is the student workbook. We don't have any experience with any of their student workbooks. We've only used the lesson review book with my high schooler. So it is designed for younger kids, and you can tell it's activity-based review, a lot more fun than just the straightforward review. So since I am doing this with a 4th grader and a 7th grader, I'm most likely going to have my 4th grader use this one, student workbook, and then I'll probably use this for both of them. The lesson review, this is something that I'm familiar with my high schooler. It is similar, but this one has less questions per lesson, and because I'll probably just use one and share it between the both, I'm going to have keep this for myself and then have them write in their notebooks. And I won't have them answer every question. I'll just pick and choose as we go, not to make history last on and on. This is the answer key and the literature guide. So I also keep this with me. This will give you the answers to the different lesson review questions. Along with this Uncle Sam and You bundle, it comes with a literature option as well. And this literature pack is optional. It's not required. It's just an add-on, and it's great for those of us who have kids who love to read and read a lot. So the optional literature package is assigned within this textbook. So let me find you an example. Okay, so here's an example. In the lesson activities here, there's vocabulary. And then in the literature section, it says, read Women Here Rejoice Over Right to Vote in the Citizen's Handbook, which is this one down here. And then chapter 6 in Lincoln, a photobiography, which is in the literature pack. So if you opt not to do the literature pack, then you would just skip that part and only read what's in the Citizen's Handbook. So I like that it does give direction on when to read it, kind of helps you to keep pace. So let me show you the books that are in this literature pack for Uncle Sam and You. It comes with Lincoln, a photobiography. These you can have them read independently, or you can read them aloud in your family. Lost on a Mountain in Maine. We actually read this one as part of a U.S. state study. Really, really good book. The Long Winter, and we have not read this one, so I'm excited about that. Can I even call myself a homeschool mom? We have not read the entire Little House series, but that's okay, right? We're all on our own journey. This is Misty of, how do you say that? We have not read this. This looks good. Next book is Basher 5-2, the true story of an F-16 fighter pilot, Captain Scott O'Grady. Brady of the Grand Canyon. We have visited the Grand Canyon. That is helpful. A Letter to Mrs. Roosevelt. And the Wright brothers, how they invented the airplane, which we have read this in the history of science curriculum as well, but I love these photos so much. So that is the Uncle Sam and You bundle. I am so excited to start this one and just thrilled to be able to try Notgrass with my younger kids. I'm glad we used Exploring World History with my teenager because I feel very familiar with their format and their style of teaching and kind of how I can adapt this to make it fit for us. And I love the timing of this. If you also want to add in some civics and government into an election year during your homeschool, then I would highly suggest giving this a close closer look, I'm going to leave a link in my profile. And thank you to anyone who uses my link. It always gives me a small percentage back at no extra cost to you. That is a free way to support Juicebox Homeschool, and I really appreciate you taking the time to look through my links and let me know if you have any questions about this curriculum. I'd be happy to answer anything in comments, and I'm so excited to dive into this. I will be sharing more on Instagram as we get started in the new curriculum, and I will have grade specific full load curriculum for you in a bit. Thank you guys so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.